the absolutely perfect time to tell you two to kiss. It is not quite time yet. Good evening. This is the one responsive part. Good evening. I want to thank you all for attending this event tonight. I want to thank you for being here, coming from far and wide. And for those of you who are sacrificing an evening in Music Midtown, I want to thank you for being here. I can promise you that the food here is better, the liquor is cheaper, and the music is far superior. I want to welcome you to what is, on several levels, a miraculous evening. It's a special evening that we're here, but it's miraculous. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I mean by a miracle. A miracle is when a good guy or guys overcome adversity and stress and tension. A miracle is not Bill Gates winning the lottery. That would just be annoying. He's a good guy, but no adversity for him. It's Luke Skywalker firing that one shot, blowing up the entire Death Star. And I know some of you are saying, no, that's the Force, man. It's a miracle. It's not the Force. And the miracle that we have to celebrate tonight, we're celebrating on two levels. It's the miracle that a young man from Arkansas and a young man from Virginia found each other. And it's the miracle that we're able to stand here and legally celebrate the union of these two men. And I want to talk a little bit in the brief time that was allotted to me as to what's behind. Well, we've got our wedding planner waving her hands at me a great deal. Maybe she could just step over there. As to what is behind this miracle. It didn't just happen that we have Jeff and Mark here. It's not a coincidence, but it's the product of effort and struggle and commitment. And above all, it's the product of respect, love, and truth. I'm going to talk about each of those three things. As for respect, I was told by these gentlemen that I shouldn't get preachy, and I'm not a preacher, I'm a judge, so I'm going to quote from the scripture that guides my hand and my decisions. I'm going to quote from something that Justice Anthony Kennedy wrote not all that long ago. It would misunderstand these men and women, these would be men trying to wed and women trying to wed each other, to say they disrespect the idea of marriage. Their plea is that they do respect it so deeply that they seek to find its fulfillment for themselves. Their hope is not to be condemned to live in loneliness, excluded from one of civilization's oldest institutions. They merely ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law, and the Constitution grants them that right. It would have been nice if that was written 20 years ago or 50 years ago. It was written by Anthony Kennedy, June 26th of last year. But it's that type of respect that gets us here, and the respect that Mark and Jeff have for each other. Now, love. We're also able to enjoy today's event because of the strength and the depth and the purity of the love that men like Mark and Jeff share. It can't be ignored that Mark and his love for Jeff makes Jeff whole. And the same is true for Mark. How many of you only say Mark and Jeff, or Jeff and Mark, not just, oh, there's Mark, but it's Mark and Jeff. They are a oneness brought together by their love. And finally, truth. The truth is, and this is what slowly but surely our society is coming to see, the truth is that a man's love for a man is no less pure or deep or passionate or fulfilling than a man's love for a woman. And we recognize that tonight. And adversity was overcome in getting here. The reality is, a year and a half ago, Mark or Jeff would be more likely to be able to marry a gun than a guy in Georgia. But that's changed. And sadly, adversity remains. Every year, legislators seek to pass laws that would institutionalize discrimination against others. But we're here because Mark and Jeff have overcome that adversity and are able to celebrate the miracle of marriage today. Their respect, their love, and that truth to each other. That's why we're here tonight. And I know I am honored and so very grateful, and I suspect everyone else is honored to be here for this event, for two men who respect each other so deeply, who love each other so much, and who are so true to one another. This is indeed what marriage was meant for. Good luck, both of you. Mark, I believe you have some words you'd like to share with Jeff. There may be a few people listening in, but now's the time.
Dear Jeffrey, 15 years ago, almost to this very day, a ray of light shined down on you from heaven, and we had our very first dance together. I now know that I was following that ray of light to the love of my life. Jeffrey, every day you light up my world, and I love that it's not only my life you brighten up. You fight for and help so many others that are important to you and to me. I love that your whole being is built on integrity, thoughtfulness, and kindness. I love that you're witty, brave, daring, sensitive, brilliant, handsome, and caring. And I love that our relationship itself is built on respect, love, and truth. Every day I'm so proud to be your partner. I love our adventures together, and I know that no matter where we are, I will always love being here with you. I'm so happy that today, 15 years later, right back here in Atlanta, that we will take our second first dance together. I love this journey we're on and look forward to the many, many more dances and adventures yet to come. And I'm so happy that my last dance at the end of the road will be with you. I love you so much.
Jeff, response?
Well, it's going to immediately become apparent that Mark and I did not swap notes before we put these pieces together, because mine is a little bit different in nature. It comes from the same place. When I was in grade school, trying to figure out what my life was going to be like when I was grown, my imagination hit a few roadblocks. And try as I might, I couldn't quite picture myself being married, and yet I knew that I didn't want to be alone forever. So at the moments of reluctant and sometimes brutal honesty, mostly late at night, the future seemed pretty bleak for me. Teenage angst is real and common, but the gnawing uncertainty that I felt seemed different than guys my age seem to feel. To escape this feeling, I sometimes imagined going to a big city in another country, maybe Amsterdam, where society might be more open and accepting of who I truly was as a person and how I needed to live if I were going to live honestly. And sometimes I just dreamed about moving out west, someplace where nobody knew me, and meeting a cowboy. We could live together, just the two of us, undisturbed, where nobody would know or care. We'd always take care of each other, and we'd always love each other, and we'd never be lonely. And of course, I told nobody about this dream. If I'd only known how things would end up later, maybe I wouldn't have worried so much. As it turned out, I didn't need to move to another country. Instead, the country where I grew up moved itself while we were in it. That wasn't even part of the dream. But I did end up moving out west, where almost nobody knew me, and you came with me. So I guess that makes you my cowboy. And although we lived together totally undisturbed, except for the street noise, it turns out that there are many who both know and care. You can see them. And we'll always take care of each other. We'll always love each other. And we'll never be lonely. So it's better than a dream.
Well, giddy up. We're going to do the vows now. Mark, you've told us about your feelings for Jeff, and it's now time to make some promises to him. Do you promise to take Jeffrey as your lawfully married husband?
I do.
To build your relationship on respect, love, and truth?
I do.
To take care of him in good times and bad?
I do.
To celebrate his best qualities and be forgiving of his very few faults?
I do.
Someone wrote that in there. I've said that before. And most of all, to love him with your heart as you continue life's journey together?
My whole heart, I do.
Jeff, you've told us about the cowboy and Mark and how they overlap now. It's your turn to make some promises. Do you take Mark as your lawfully married husband?
I do.
To build your relationship on respect, love, and truth?
I do.
To take care of him in good times and bad?
I do.
And to celebrate his best qualities and to be forgiving of his similarly few faults?
I do.
And most of all, to love him with all your heart as you continue on life's journey together.
I do.
Used to travel all over town, going round in circles till deep in Allenstown. You took my hand.
told you this was better than Music Midtown. Gentlemen, it's time for the rings. Hopefully you have them. Mark and Jeff, you've both chosen to wear these rings as a reminder of the commitments you're making to each other today. People often say that a wedding band is like love, with no beginning and no end. But these rings did have a beginning. The gold and other precious metals that form them had to be mined from the earth and toiled and worked on to form those beautiful bands. And love is like that. It doesn't just spring forth, but is the product of the time and energy and commitment and the respect and the truth that you all share to make that love. It comes from humble beginnings and through a combination of diligence and maybe a little bit of luck. And people, perfect and imperfect, can make it something extraordinary. It's the process of making something beautiful from where in the beginning there was nothing at all. Just that boy from Arkansas and that boy from Virginia who hadn't even met, and the mythical cowboy in the distance. If you look at these rings over the years, I hope you remember what they signify and where they came from, that your love has come from that same effort and commitment. Mark, if you would please place the ring on Jeff's finger and repeat after me. Jeffrey,
Jeffrey,
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a tangible symbol
as a tangible symbol
of our marriage
of our marriage
and of our commitment
and of our commitment
to a relationship
to a relationship
built on respect,
built on
love,
respect,
and truth.
love, and truth.
Jeff, your turn. And please repeat after me. Mark,
Mark,
I give you this
I
ring
give you this ring
as a tangible symbol
as a tangible symbol
of our marriage
of our marriage
and of our commitment
and of our commitment
to a lasting
to a
relationship
lasting relationship
built on respect, love, and truth.
built on respect, love, and truth.
By the power vested in me by the Supreme Court of our country and the state of Georgia, I'm very proud and pleased to pronounce you married, husband and husband. You may not-